Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me. My name is Danielson. Um, I have a pretty important fragrance I want to talk about. Um, as most of y'all know, I've been a fragrance lover, a frag head my entire life, or at least ever since I was like a little kid. And I told the story about how I smelled my dad's Old Spice and Brut, and that got me into loving fragrances. And from there, from when I was about 12, I started collecting the usual stuff back then. You know, the Old Spice and the Brut and the Canoe and all those things. But I was never like a serious collector like I am now. But something happened, and a few of y'all know the story about, I think it was like right around June 2018. I told this story about when this guy walked into my store, and he walked by me, and I smelled this beautiful smell. Um, it smelled like fresh cut cedar wood, and I was mesmerized by that smell. I thought it smelled so beautiful, and I've never smelled anything like that before. So I waited for him to come back out, and I stopped him and I asked him, I was like, that smell, when you come in, I smelled your cologne. I called everything back then cologne. Everything was a cologne as long as a guy wore it, it was a cologne or an aftershave. And I was like, I smelled your cologne. I got to know what it is because it smells like, I think it smells beautiful, and I've never smelled anything like it. And he sort of smiled at me, and he was like, "Oh, you can smell it, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he told me, he was like, "Well, that's cool because a lot of people can't smell it." And I wasn't sure what he was talking about. I didn't know why he said that. Um, and he just explained a little bit. He was like, it's called, he said it's called Molecule 01 by Escentric Molecules, which I thought the name was really weird. And he was like, "Yeah, it's a molecule. It's a synthetic molecule that when you wear it, sometimes," he said, "sometimes I can't even smell it. Sometimes I can." He was like, "Other people can sometimes smell it and other people can't." And I just thought that was so weird that he was talking about this. I didn't really understand it that much. But anyway, I was like, I don't care. I was like, I think it smells beautiful. So tell me how to pronounce it and write it. And I wrote it down exactly like he spelled it. And as soon as I got home, I started Googling it. And I started reading about it, and I learned everything about it within that night. I read everything. I researched it. And doing that research led me to see other fragrances that popped up, and I would go to them and started researching them. And it was just, from then on, it was just a continuous thing. I started doing research on every single fragrance I could find. That later led to me discovering the fragrance community, and then discovering that there's people that talk about fragrances on their YouTube channel, fragrance reviewers. And that one fragrance, that Molecule 01, started my serious fragrance journey. So I actually ordered that, and I just got it today, and I want to do an unboxing. This is a very, very important fragrance to me, because it led me to where I'm at now. It led me to the fragrance community. It led me to eventually being a fragrance reviewer and a fragrance collector and a fragrance researcher and everything else. Everything fragrance related, it all has to do with Molecule 01. That started everything for me. So I thought it would be fun to do an unboxing and a first impression. I just got this box in the mail. United Postal Service, UPS, just delivered it a couple of hours ago. So this is a big deal to me. It is. This is a big deal to me. It's the most important fragrance as far as my fragrance journey. It's not really the most important fragrance overall, because the first ones I ever smelled in my entire life were Old Spice and Brut and Canoe and all those. Those are the most important ones. But this is the most important one to me as far as my fragrance journey goes, as far as like where I'm at now. This is what started it all. So I thought it would be fun to do an unboxing. I'm excited. And there it is. Wow. There it is. Molecule 01. One of the most weird fragrances in the fragrance community. Wow. A single note. ISOE Super. One note. That's all it has in it, and it's a synthetic molecule. I will go into detail. I'm planning on doing a full review of this. I will have all the details about this. I don't want to get into too much detail about it now. I just want to do like a first impression and an unboxing. That's what I'm doing. I'll have all the information later on. I'm actually sort of nervous. You know something? I don't know why this wasn't my first fragrance purchase. I was thinking about that the last couple of days when I ordered this. I was like, well, why wasn't this my very first purchase? If that's the reason I started doing fragrance research to begin with, is because of this. I don't know. I can't answer that. I just know that I have it now. And this is very important to me because, you know, because of this fragrance, I have met so many of my friends now because of this one fragrance. Everybody in my fragrance Facebook group, the Beauty and Art of Fragrances, I have some very close friends in there, and the reason that they are my friends is because of this fragrance. Led me to them, if that makes any sense. I'm excited. I am. This is actually a really good box. I'm trying not to mess it up. Now, I can smell it. I know that smell very well because that guy that I was talking about that told me about this, he still comes in the store every once in a while, and he always wears Molecule 01, and I can tell he's in the store without even seeing him because I can smell it. I can tell he had walked by later on because I can pick up whiffs of it. This smells, God, this smells good. Yeah, I can smell this very, very well. This is like fresh cut cedar, just like he smells like. But let's see what it's like on my skin. Let's see if I'm able to smell it. Oh yeah. It's interesting because before I sprayed it on, I smelled fresh cut cedar wood. I can get a little bit of cedar. but it's something else too. Man, it smells so beautiful. Yeah, I can definitely smell this without a doubt. And it smells beautiful. Wow, that smells good. That's it. This is the fragrance that started my fragrance journey. And the reason I became a fragrance reviewer and a fragrance researcher and everything else that I'm doing right now. Wow. I wonder if people are going to smell something different than I smell, because that happens. This is such a weird fragrance. This is such a weird fragrance because it's one note that's synthetic. Some people can smell it, some people can't. Sometimes you can't smell it for 4 hours and all of a sudden you start smelling it, and vice versa. Sometimes you smell something but other people smell something different. Sometimes you smell something like sandalwood but other people are getting cedarwood and other things. This is now I'm smelling that cedar. No, I'm not. I smell cedarwood when my arm's not up to my nose. Fresh cut cedarwood I smell right now coming off of me, but when I smell it up close, I smell something, but I don't smell something. I smell something, but I don't know what it is. This is going to be an interesting fragrance to experience. I smell cedarwood. Now I smell something, but I don't know how to explain it because it really doesn't have a smell, if that makes any sense. I'm not making this up. It smells sort of like a fresh something, but I can't explain. Man, I'm going to have to wear this for maybe quite a while to try to figure out how I'm going to explain to everybody what this smells like. Cedarwood, not cedarwood. Wow. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit more of this and come back in a few days and do a full review on it and tell you everything about this fragrance. What a cool, exciting... wow, I'm so excited. This started my fragrance journey right here. This is why I'm in the fragrance community and everything. But I will be back in a few days to tell you more about it. I love you guys, and I will talk to you later. I love you. Bye.